Hello, hello. Welcome back to my ASMR channel. Thank you so much for being here. I'm excited for today's video because this video is about one of my favorite things, birds. I took a ornithology class the last semester. Ornithology is the study of birds, in case you didn't know, because I didn't know that before I took the class. And I learned a lot. I learned that I have a passion for birds. Well, I already knew that. What I mean is my affinity to birds and learning about birds has grown. And I would like to share it with you in today's video. I find facts about birds really interesting, fascinating. All these things I've learned, I just find fascinating. And I also like coloring. I have this really cool coloring book. I don't know how to pronounce the brand. I think it's Artesia. It's either I think it's Arteza. But this is a really nice coloring book. It has a lot of pages, and as you can see, a lot of blank ones. I haven't finished a lot of them. I'm still working my way through it. It's a lot of pictures of animals, which is like so cool. And I got a pack of colored pens to go with it. So my plan for today is to do a soft spoken video of me coloring a beautiful, beautiful hummingbird in my coloring book while I read you some interesting facts about birds. Maybe you'll learn something that you find interesting too, or just relax and fall asleep. Either way, I'm here just to relax you and to maybe teach you a little thing or two about birds. Okay, so the video will be cutting back and forth between me speaking to you here and the recording of me coloring. So, as you can see in my coloring book, there's a lot of beautiful pictures of animals, of so many things. There's a beautiful peacock too. I just was admiring it and trying to decide which bird I wanted to color in. I love peacocks. It's just a lot of beautiful stuff in this. Here's a macaw, which is I was also thinking about coloring in. Here's another beautiful bird. And just many, many more beautiful animals. Now we find our bird, which I don't know if you know, there is many types of hummingbirds that are so beautiful and like literally look like they come out of a fantasy world. I'll show you some pictures of hummingbirds that I almost find unbelievably beautiful. So I'm just gonna begin coloring in the body of the hummingbird. And while you watch that, I'll read some facts to you. So sit back and relax. The closest living relative to the extinct dodo bird is the pigeon. One bird species that exhibits aspects of sexual selection is the red-capped mannequin, also referred to as the moonwalking bird, due to its courtship dance performed by the male mannequin birds. The red-capped mannequins are small birds living in Mexico and Central America. I suggest you look up the red-capped mannequin dance on YouTube and watch these little birds do their thing. It's adorable. It's fascinating. The average man would need to eat around 285 pounds of meat per day if they had the metabolism of a hummingbird. Yeah, hummingbird metabolism is absolutely insane. That's why they practically never leave the feeder. They're like stay nearby as much as they can. They need to be constantly eating. Yeah. Baby Hudsons have tiny claws on their wings to help them climb. Kind of reminds me of the wings of bats. It's quite cool. The wing claws disappear as the birds mature though. Once they can fly, they no longer need them. I learned about this in class, and it is thought that they evolved back into the lineage of Hudsons to have the claw on the wing. But now it's going to slowly start to evolve back out because they don't need it when they can fly, just when they're climbing as young. It's cool. They look like mini dinosaurs, kind of, but of course they have feathers. And dinosaurs have feathers, but they look like a modern day dinosaur. Ospreys carry their prey in a specific way to be more aerodynamic. They specifically situate their fish in their grasp so that it is as aerodynamically streamlined as possible. A fish is held parallel to the osprey's body, head forward, so that it doesn't increase drag as the osprey flies toward home. So they pick up the fish and then turn it by moving one of their thumbs like this. Not their thumbs, sorry. One of their claws, their toes, you could call them. Which most birds cannot rotate one of their claws like that. One of their toes. It's pretty cool. They do it just so that they can fly faster and better. This bird is crazy. At sea, parasitic jaegers chase down other birds and harass them into dropping the food they've just caught for themselves, and then they eat it. And by dropping their food, it usually means throwing up their food. So they literally chase the bird until the bird throws up. It's gnarly, I think. The bearded vulture's diet consists of 70 to 90% bone. And it is the only bird in the world whose diet is like this. I suggest you look up a video of the bearded vulture on YouTube. And I don't remember the name, but they literally swallow a huge bone whole. Yeah, that's crazy. With a wingspan of up to 9.5 feet, seen from far away, California condors are sometimes mistaken as small aircrafts. The flightless ostrich is the world's largest bird. Ostriches have 3 stomachs. Unlike other living birds, the ostrich secretes urine separately from feces. Ostriches are the fastest runners of any birds and can sprint at over 70 kilometers per hour, covering up to 5 meters in a single stride. A flamingo's nest looks like a mini mud volcano with just enough room for 1 large egg. Flamingos are monogamous. Mom and dad are team players. Both help to build the nest and incubate the egg. Next time you go to the zoo, look at the flamingos and check out their nests. It looks like literally little volcanoes. Those are actually their nests. Flamingos really are what they eat. Many plants produce natural red, yellow, or orange pigments called carotenoids. Carotenoids give carrots their orange color or turn ripe tomatoes red. They are also found in the microscopic algae that brine shrimp eat. As a flamingo dines on algae and a brine shrimp, its body metabolizes the pigments, turning their feathers pink. Emperor penguins are the biggest of the 18 species of penguins found today, and one of the largest of all the birds. But they would be dwarfed by the ancient mega penguins. Fossils recovered from the Antarctic Peninsula reveal that a colossus species of penguin, which lived about 37 million years ago, may have stood about 2 meters tall and weighed as much as 115 kilograms. Emperor penguins are the Olympic divers of the bird world. The deepest recorded dive was 564 meters, and the longest dive was recorded at nearly 28 minutes. In ancient Greece, pigeons delivered the results of the Olympic Games. The unique black and white coloring of penguins work as camouflage. The Peregrine Falcon is a very fast flyer, averaging about 40 to 55 kilometers per hour or 25 to 34 miles per hour. During spectacular hunting, stoop from heights of over 1 kilometers, the Peregrine Falcon may reach speeds of up to 200 miles per hour. Yep, 200 miles per hour. As it drops towards its prey. I find that fascinating. They are the fastest animal on Earth. Yes, it's in flight, but it's the fastest. People have trained falcons for hunting for over 1,000 years, and the Peregrine Falcon was always one of the most prized birds. they are really a sight to see. I've seen them dive bomb, attack a hawk before, and it was crazy. During the courtship display, the male and female toko toucan will share fruit with one another. Indigenous people of South America believe the toucan is a conduit between living people and the spirits. In some parts of their range, they are considered an incarnation of the devil, and it is believed that if a father eats a toucan, it can bewitch their child. Acorn woodpeckers are very unusual woodpeckers. They live in large groups, hoard acorns, and breed cooperatively. Group members gather acorns by the hundreds and wedge them into holes they've made in a tree trunk or telephone pole. Several adults will cooperate to raise the young in the family, even if they aren't directly related to the young. This means that there's usually 1 to 3 sole reproducers, i.e. the parents, who mate and lay the eggs, while the rest of the members of the family protects and cares for the rest of the family. Acorn woodpeckers live in large joint families, often with more than a dozen members, usually about 15 or so. They are all more or less related to each other. There are usually several breeding males, brothers, sons, fathers, or uncles to each other, and usually 1 to 3 breeding females who might be related to each other. The rest of the family are helpers at the nest and are typically the children of the breeders from past mating seasons. Females lay their eggs together in a single nest. Anna's hummingbirds are quite pugnacious and well known for their territorial behavior. Males fiercely defend feeding areas and chase away other male hummingbirds, and even large insects like bumblebees and hawk moths that try to feed there. I have seen hummingbirds fight. It's crazy. Like straight up, they were tussling in a bush. The bee hummingbird is the smallest living bird. Females weigh about 2.6 grams, or 0.092 ounces, and are about 2 inches long, and are slightly larger than males. Males have an average weight of 1.9 grams, or 0.069 ounces, and have a length about 2.2 inches. Birds breathe with greater efficiency than humans because of the structure of their lungs, which are not actually lungs, but actually looped airways consisting of air sacs that facilitate airflow that go only in one direction. Unlike the air that flows deep in the branches of our lungs, which oscillate back and forth as we breathe in and out. The flow moves in a single direction in birds even as they inhale and exhale. Birds, unlike mammals, don't produce urine. They instead excrete nitrogenous wastes in the form of uric acid. Uric acid crystals are distributed randomly, resulting in incoherent scattering, which allows for all the wavelengths to be reflected. This gives the white color of the bird's excrements. Each molecule of uric acid contains twice as much nitrogen as a molecule of urea, which is what mammals excrete. They use very little water. Mammals need 20 times as much water to eliminate the same amount of nitrogen. So they are much more efficient at eliminating nitrogenous waste. Salt glands allow birds to drink salt water from the sea. Salt glands are seen in procilliforms, gulls, terns, and sea ducks. They are located above the eye, over the bony orbit. The gland uses counter-current blood flow to remove and concentrate salt ions from the bloodstream. It's pretty cool how they get rid of the salt. Some of them even just sneeze out the clump of salt from that salt gland that I just described. The common ancestor of all life appeared about 4.5 billion years ago. The first bird evolved about 150 million years ago. The first humans appeared about 300,000 years ago. So they have been around for a very, very long time. 1,481 species of birds are currently threatened with extinction. That's 13% of all birds. There are 3 kinds of materials within feathers, which provide different structures and lead to different colors. The 3 kinds of material are air bubbles, melanin, and keratin. Females often prefer the more colorful males in courtship circumstances because males with better and brighter plumage, feathers, are more likely to provide more resources. Also can mean that there are they can get like food easier. Also, the quality of their plumage may indicate male with better quality genes. The hooded pedohue is a species of bird found in New Guinea. This species is one of the few known poisonous birds. They contain a range of neurotoxin compounds in their skin, feathers, and other tissues. These toxins are thought to be derived from their diet and may function both to deter predators and to protect them from parasites. I remember learning a story in class of how they found out, and it was really back in the 90s when scientists were preparing the skins of these birds for museum displays, and they began to feel numbness and burning when handling the skins. Humans have trichromatic vision. Birds have tetrahedral vision, and they are able to actually see ultraviolet light. So some birds actually it might look like a gray patch on them. They might look a gray to us, but to other birds, they are brightly colored in ultraviolet light. Most birds have hollow air-filled bones to help them stay light for flight. Penguins adapted with solid bones instead. This helps them swim because solid bones reduce buoyancy, the tendency to float. A penguin's thick feathers aren't the only way they stay warm. A gland near the base of its tail provides waterproof oil. Penguins spend several hours each day covering their feathers with this oil and give extra attention to the task before swimming. Sight is the strongest of all eagle senses. Their eyes are very large and can take up almost 50% of their head, and can sometimes weigh as much as a human eye. An eagle's vision is 4 to 5 times better than that of a human. Eagles' eyes are angled 30 degrees away from the center of their face, which gives eagles a greater view of field. Only the males are actually called peacocks. The collective term for these birds is peafowl. The males are peacocks and the females are peahens, and the babies are called peachicks. So, thank you so much for listening to my facts about birds and for watching me color. I hope it was relaxing. I hope you are feeling well. I hope you are taking care of yourself. And have a very good rest of your day. Or have a good night. And I'll talk to you